I made a shirt on the front that said, "This can be all yours," and then on the back, "If the price is right."
Okay, a meet cute. I had to look this up. It's a moment when you start conversing with someone or you see them for the first time and you feel those like butterflies and the sparks fly and it's an instantaneous like, oh, I think I could get with this person.
So this story takes place back when I lived in New York City, the city of love as they call it. No one calls it that. I was on the subway and I had just transferred trains. I looked at the seats. On one side, there was a couple with their young son. Then on the other side of the seats, there was like a really cute guy and he was sitting like around midway into the row. But the most coveted of all seats in New York was available. That's the one that's right next to the handrail so nobody sits next to you. So I sit down, already having a great day. Yes, that's right, this is a meet cute story about me and the handrail seat located in all subway cars. I was kind of like people watching. So I only had a few stops before I was gonna get off at work. So I was kind of watching. The couple was like both on their phones. They weren't like really paying attention. All of a sudden I see a phone slide across to me. I look where that phone is attached, and it's the cute boy that was sitting a couple of seats down. So he's moved one seat closer to me, but is not looking at me, and the only thing separating us is this one seat and his phone. My mind flits to the worst case scenario. We are in a speed type situation where we are going to fight our way off this train. He's letting me know where the bomb is, how much time we have. So I look down at the screen, and I see that his notes page is pulled up. And he has just one line written there, and it says, "It looks like we're in a train filled with phone zombies." That's kind of like a little silent laugh from me. And I'm also really relieved. I type back, I say, "Well, you don't look like one of the undead," and I slide the phone back. To which he starts laughing. For some reason, we decide that we're just gonna use this phone, so we're not talking out loud. And slowly but surely, we each slide closer till we're now sitting exactly next to each other. All of a sudden, I realize I'm like 30 minutes late for work. I'm like, I've gotta get off at the next stop. And I write, "This is my stop." So he writes one more message that says, "Are you sure?" The doors open, I step out, I turn back, and he mouths bye, and I mouth bye. And then the train goes down the station. Did I realize when I left the station that I had his phone in my hand and I could have easily written my number at any point? Yeah, I did. So I've never heard this guy's voice. I don't know his name. If you rode the 1, 2, or 3 train at some point a couple of years ago and were messaging a girl in Manhattan, that was me.
So my meet cute story starts before we actually met. Kind of. It was weird. It was back in the day when Facebook kind of just started out. So when you got your college email address, you joined your college network, and then everyone just started adding everyone. I was coming from California, going to Boston University. I had no friends there. So this guy adds me and I accept him, and I was like, well, this guy's kind of cute. So like we both start talking. He actually pioneered the DM, and he slid up into like my Facebook wall or whatever it was, because I didn't have messages at that time. We traded AIM screen names, and we started chatting and talking, and we decided we were gonna meet up when we got to school. So when we got there, we met in front of our college dorm. And the first time I saw him, he like came down the escalator to me, and I was like really just like being shy and weird, which is kind of how I am, but it was like more than my usual self. I just looked at him and I was like, wow, this guy is like beyond great. He seems so nice and fun and funny, and he was just making me laugh. I remember thinking, well, I feel like this is a person I could be with because we connect so well, even though it was just like that one moment. And we had been talking for a while, but it was like when I first saw him, it was completely different. Like I definitely felt those butterflies. So we kept on talking and hanging out, and it's going to be 11 years that we've been together in September, and now we're engaged. We met through Facebook/AIM, and here we are. Come back, AOL.
My meet cute story is I went to UCLA. Every beginning of the year, they have these dance workshops to kind of get students into the dance community and like to audition for their dance teams. I attended one. The instructor, he was a student dance team member. I saw him and I was like, oh, okay, he's cute. And then I saw him dance as he was teaching, and I was like, oh man, he's really good at dancing. So I was really embarrassed to like even go up and even say hi. I was really awkward at the time, so I was like, oh my God, I don't even know like if I should even say hi to an instructor. Is that weird? I was like, I cannot go up to him. I was just so embarrassed. But we get casted as each other's love interests in the school musical play. And then I was like, this is interesting. We get to know each other. There was something going on like more outside of the stage. that's how we started our relationship. And I've been with this guy for 3 years. He doesn't even remember that workshop itself because he was so nervous. It's kind of funny looking back because I was nervous, he was nervous. We were both just really nervous.
So I received 3 top priority tickets to The Price is Right. And the theme was Valentine's Day, and it was for singles only. Price is Right goes back like to my family. We always watched it. I played hooky, so it's just like a big deal. I made a shirt because on The Price is Right, you know, everyone has those flamboyant shirts. On the front that said, "This can be all yours," and then on the back, "If the price is right." Yeah, I went all out. At the last minute, my 2 girlfriends decided not to go, so I go by myself. Match.com is there, and so if you get called down to contestants row, they're going to pair you up with someone based off of your paperwork that you filled out, right? So you filled one out about yourself, then you filled one out about like your ideal mate. They start shuffling us in, and they're like, "How many in your group?" I'm like, "Ugh, rude, 1." And so then like they're playing music and we're dancing. I'm like, "Oh my God," I'm like, "I can't believe I'm here. This is so amazing." The announcer comes out, starts introducing everyone. This is how it goes. We're all cheering, and then all of a sudden he calls the first name and don't really hear it. But if you don't hear it, there's a producer on stage with like a whiteboard that has your name on it. What name was it? Mine. I just jumped off all by myself. I thought other people were gonna be jumping off with me. I'm like, "Wah!" No one jumped off, so it's just me. So that's gonna look great. So I'm like there, like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm here." And then they call a guy down. My first thought of him was that he was very, very tall. I'm like, "Oh my God, like you're my partner." And then from there on, like, you know, we're working together to like bid on prizes. There was this lover's lounge in the audience. So like we had to sit up there while like the show was still going. He just asked me a whole bunch of questions of like where I'm from, and we ended up being from the same place, and we just hit it off, and it was just like amazing. We had producers from The Price is Right and from like Match.com coming up to us and being like, "Just want to let you know, everyone backstage is like rooting for you guys. This is like the cutest thing ever." We're like, "Oh my God, thanks. Like, oh, this is so weird." He like asked me out to dinner, and we had dinner and drinks. We've been talking ever since. Yeah, we'll just see where it leads. One day at a time, right?